Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing, a quick special update. Not a special update. Just an update. But what we're going to do here is we're going to start to get a friend of the channel. Yes. We've educated this friend in the market, right? But mototoxin, we highly recommend that you give this guy some love and some support. There's his ugly face right there. Z&Z's Automotion, Moto Toxic, right? He does car reviews. If you're in here and you love cars, go check out his page. Give him some likes. He's got some videos with 185 views on his little OJ Simpson Ford Bronco. I see OJ, and he be looking very nervous. He be all deep in this bitch, right? He's got 411 on the Canadian bacon, right? Yeah, Canadian bacon, fellas, right? Check out his channel and give him some likes and some subscriptions, y'all, and show him the power of the Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing audience. Whether you give a shit about cars or not, just go hit that subscribe button. You never even have to watch a video if you don't want. Let's bump his subscriptions up. And if you're in the cars, he's got up-to-the-date car reviews. So you are on top of your car purchasing decisions, and you don't get fleeced, heisted, and shysted by the criminal gangsters in the used car market and new car market, right? He'll help you sidestep and audible and heist and fleeced and shyst the criminal gangsters, otherwise known as fleece, heisting, and shysting, right? So then we'll go on into some Dent. Dent hasn't really done anything since our last update for Jerome, but we're still on top of that 200-day moving average, right? We had our little perching tool out there. And we're still in no man's land as some of our lines are not up. I don't know what's going on. Chart's all fucked up. Maybe because I'm on that. Trying to hit some Wi-Fi somewhere. There we go. Much better. So we can see we got that upper target. I still feel like there's a line that should be up there somewhere. Oh, I might have deleted it somewhere else. But I still feel like we could go up there. And the reason we've had that up there, you can see I was scribbling and got a big mess up there. The reason we have that up there is with our industry exclusive horizontal ray. You can see we got our old peak just happens to be up there. That's why we had that target up there. We just never put a line because it gets cluttered, and that's probably why there's no line up there. So we'll lighten that up. But that's why we have that circled up there. That's a possible upper target. Get rid of this green nonsense. Come on. And that's a possible lower target down there. And then obviously the top of the shit house. People love to know that. Oh, shit. The shit house starts down there. We got to lock that. That's the problem, right? And we know the shit house is red. I don't know what's going on. That's too big for the shit house. Let me see what's going on down here. Our prices have got all moved. So obviously this is not the shit house. We're going to delete that. The shit house is near the basement in bankruptcy, which would be bankruptcy's down there. And then you can see we got right there would be your shit house. But that needs to go away because that's hideously disgusting. Do that. Get that up in here. No, I don't like that. We like that red. And then we're going to go ahead and lock that. So that's the shit house down there. We're just above it right now in the thick of the current last line of defense to the shit house, right? AKA, we don't need to put that on here right now. It's just going to get cluttered. And then we were in a rising channel. You see that? We could still have this overall top eventually coming down here because we squeezed this price down into this falling wedge as it's wider at the top and narrower at the base. And then we kind of notice how you always see these rounding bottoms. We had a rounding bottom and just kind of traded out of it and then pumped, right? Because the technical target is the top of this channel, which if we bring the volume indicator up here and place that on here real quick, see that? Little volume indicator action. You can see we're right at the major support zone. So if we can break above this major area of trading, Jerome, you got nothing in the way right here. This is all open traded right here. Very little trading. If we zoom on in, see that? You got very little trading once you break above that major traded zone that you're in now, and you're slightly on top of it. If you can get above that, you can trade straight through this zone all the way into this area before you start getting any kind of major sell action, right? So you can have a pretty good pump just looking at the volume indicator. If you can get above into this candle, come on. If you can get above into this candle, you can pump 38% before you got major overhead resistance, and that's way up here, and we're going to mark that. This is your I'm going to get rich zone if you can break above this, right? And this is where your next big traded area is. Your major overhead resistance is up there, right? That's where we're going to have that in green, because that's the I'm going to get rich zone, and we got to extend that out, and then we're going to lock that. That's your major upper resistance. If you get on top of where you're at now and can hold that, you got nothing but trading air in the way. And that's why there is a way I can see how this gets up here, and we've been calling for that since the price has been back in here, and we've been playing in the 4-hour time frame or 3-hour time frame. The moving average is, if you're above the green, which is the 200-day, you're bullish. If you close below it, you're bearish. And every time we flirt with it, we get bought back up. So that's where we're at now. If you come back down and start to retest, as long as you can stay on top of that 200-day, you can continue up and you stay bullish, right? So that's what we're watching for in Dent. The V chain, we're going to do an altcoin update. The V chain, you can see we've drawn a way out to get up into the higher time frames. We're just going to delete that because it's all cluttered. And we're very concerned about that upper resistance at 15 cents and that blue ring right there, because I think we're going to have a big price action after we get by this blue ring. So I could see it pumping and then getting rejected, and you have a huge dump after you cross that blue ring. So we're going to keep an eye on that. We see the way up into here to get rejected by not only this green ring, but also this blue ring right here, right? So that's what we're paying attention for, because as you know, we've been trading within the green ring right here, and it's been calling the price beautifully. See that? We've been trading in between the 15-cent green ring and the, what is that? We need to get that out of there. And the 10-cent green ring. It's been acting as support and resistance. So we're going to keep an eye out on that, especially after you go by these blue rings. They seem to be some significance as we got near that one up here, and then we collapse right after we crossed it there in the weekly time frame. Right, you get hyper volatile. So we're going to pay attention to these green rings of 15 cents support and 10 cents, or 15 cents resistance and 10 cents support, because we've been trading within these rings for a few weeks now, actually over a month, maybe 2 months now. So we're going to continue to trade in between that, and that's what we're watching out for in the V chain, right? The Kia we went over earlier had a phenomenal pump, and now it's starting to descend its way down. What's some of these other ones that you guys like? Iota people like. I get a lot of messages on Iota. You can see we had a big wick there, and we've been selling off ever since. We haven't really talked about Iota. We don't. Oh no, we do have some lines. There we go. It's just not showing up. But you had that big pump, and then dead volume after. That usually signifies a big pump and dump. They went into the market and pumped the coin up. Somebody levered in there, and then they sold into the rally. Right. That's what happened there. But you can see you're sitting on the heavily traded area, and if you break down below that, you're coming to the 200-day moving average. So if you can't hold where you see that that red stick coming out there, that's the volume profile. If you're below that, you're bearish. You would come to the 200-day and then maybe come back up and back test it, and then you could get rejected, right? But if you can hold this, you can get on up here. You can get on up here and force your way up. I got to get back to work. Like, subscribe, and share to Vincenzo's Go Crypto Investing. Peace and love.